Here we are, guys. We're back in the shop, and today we're going to take apart this Gateway 2000 4SX33, found in the wild, as is, just like this. That's right. Let's crack it open and see how much gold is inside. But before we do, can we get a shout out to Definitely Casual PCs? He's been helping me with all the tech side. I don't know a lot about this. I don't know a lot about computers, but I can show you how to get free gold. That's right. All right, as advertised, here is this Gateway 2000 4SX33. Found it just like this. In fact, the only thing that's different is I had to prop that guy up because it came falling out when I found it. So let's go from there. Yeah, I have my collection of gold ends right there, and I put all my tidbits and all that good stuff up there. But let's get into this guy. I highly doubt this is even connected, and no, it's not. I picked this up from a score, actually, of a bunch of other computers. Somebody had the idea that they were going to fix computers, and they're in my shop now. So I don't know what to say about that. That's nothing personal, but we're gonna get there. And I don't even think that this guy ain't even attached. Ah, man, sakes alive. All right, we're gonna get this back. I can see a slot card back here, so that's super nice, and it looks like it still has its motherboard, so that is great. Otherwise, this would just be an empty shell and a power supply, which unfortunately, you know, would be kind of a bummer. It would be a bummer, but hey, we're gonna do this because we don't know what you come across out in the wild. You never know what you're gonna find or what shape it's gonna be in, but you never pass it up. That's gonna be steel. That's where that goes. So what do we got in here? It looks pretty gutted and pretty dismal, and that's how it works. This is a speaker that used to be connected to here. We're gonna put that over there and explore it later. Here's the power supply right here, and there's one screw holding it, one screw. So that's why that guy never bounced around. So let's see. All right, there. Well, this is going to be one of the easiest scraps I ever did. We're going to put this off to the side, and we'll keep going through it. What else do we got in here? Well, we got some ribbon cable. Every computer has ribbon cable. Unfortunately, for this stuff, I doubt this actually has a CD-ROM inside of it. So I don't think these belong to it, but hey, they're in there, and they're free gold, so we will clip them off, and I'll show you how to get it from there. All right, so what else do we got? Oh, we got that... We got that little drive right there. That's right, that little guy. He's going to have some secrets, and he's going to share some stuff with us. That's right, there's going to be some gold in there. We're not going to pass him up, and we will look at him at the end of this video. But what else do we got? We got slot cards. For people that don't know what a slot card is, hey, it goes into your computer. In the back right here, you can see a bunch of them normally. This one only has one, and it goes into a slot, hence how it gets its name. It usually either goes onto the motherboard or it goes onto a bus card. What's a bus card? Well, that's a bus card. But look at this slot card. This slot card is interesting. It has some secrets to be seen, and if you're going to sell this online, do nothing but take that bracket off and do not touch it. All right, well, what else? Okay, well, we got the bus card. The bus card's going to be nice. I like these guys. They're really simple, especially for gold recovery. They're really easy to come out of the boards one-handed. They're just, you know, you just give it a little pull, and there you go. All right, look at that. Look at that. There's some tantalum. It's stacked with tantalum. When I say stacked, that's a lot more than what I normally see on a whole motherboard. So yeah, there's a lot of tantalum to be had on there. There's some gold fingers. There's some gold connectors. And look on the back, there's some very nice gold fingers on the back side of that. So hey, this is a good little card to depopulate. I don't send these out. I keep all this gold. We don't get rid of our gold. We use it, and we put it in that stock pot over there for all you guys that are new, and try to not make you dizzy while we're doing the scrap outs. So for all you guys that are new, hey, if you want to learn about a little bit of gold recovery, head on over to my channel, because this is what we do after this, because I don't sell my boards. I strip them, I take the gold from them, and I filter it out, and we do the process. I am learning as I go because I have fellow scrappers helping me out along the way. Here's the motherboard. We're going to put this off to the side and check it out in a minute. What does that leave us with? Well, that leaves us with a chunk of steel. Yeah, I don't think these are going to be brass. They may be brass. I doubt it. Nope, they're sticky. So that's all a chunk of steel. Well, what are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to put this over here with this other chunk. And when my friend comes over, I'm going to give him all my steel, and he's going to give me computers. And that's how we do it around here. That's how you make your free stuff. Think outside the box and try to get as much out of your scrap as you possibly can. So let's get all this stuff laid out and see what we're going to have. All right, so here we have our copper bearing material. This is going to be a speaker. There's not going to be much in it. I doubt this one is actually going to have any gold inside of it. The smaller button size ones and the ones in your cell phone will, but this one unfortunately will not. So this is going to go in the metal case down here. and that's going to go in my steel and get weighed at the scrapyard. All right, what else does that leave us? Well, we have the power supply. Yes, this is the power supply to that particular computer, but for some reason, there's something screaming to me that says that having an extension on a power button like this is probably going to come in handy for somebody. So we're just going to leave that alone. But I do have a demonstrative purposes one right here. In fact, this one is a very nice one to look at because it'll show you everything. What do we have? We have some number 2 insulated wire. Why is it number 2? Because there's not a lot of copper and there's a lot of junk on the outside, along with this ribbon cable. This ribbon cable will also go in the same place. A lot of people will cut these ends off and save the brass, and you can turn them in, and some scrap yards will take it. I already see, but hey, that has some nice gold in them. Not every single one is going to have so much showing gold inside of it, but hey, there is going to be some gold in this one nonetheless. They need the gold to make the connection, and that's how it works. You save all these guys up, they do add up, they do exist, and they do belong. They're there. Why do I cut off some of these and leave the other ones? Well, let me show you. Although they're the same color and they're black, some of them will not show gold and some of them will show gold. The ones that show gold go in my bucket. The ones that do not show any gold do not go in my bucket. Let's move on to the power supply. So what else do we got here? Well, inside this power supply, this is a really good one. I know some of you people that have already seen this one, but that's okay because it's a really good example. Well, what do we have in this power supply? Why does this make it worth any money? Well, first you're going to have a copper bearing fan motor right here. You take that fan out with a few screws, you cut the center of the motor out, you cut them fan fins off, throw it in your copper bearing material and bring it to your scrapyard. What else do we have? Well, right here, right off the bat, everybody's going to see this. This is extruded aluminum. Yes, this is more than your pop can aluminum. It's worth a lot more. Do not bring it in your scrapyard with your pop cans because they'll give you pop can price. This is sheet aluminum. What makes the difference between the two? Well, this was one time a flat sheet. It was cut and bent and folded. They give you less at some places, but my scrapyard will take them as the same because they don't have the time to process the different. So that's what I do with my extruded aluminum. More aluminum, you're going to see these capacitors all around, studded all over the boards. If you're going to depopulate the boards like me, then you might as well take them and put them in with your pop cans. Yes, put these in with your pop cans and talk to your yard. Let them see them. Talk to them and find out if they'll take them for pop cans. My yard will. What else are we going to have on here? Let's move to copper. Everybody wants to know about copper. Everybody wants to know how to find it, how to get it. It's the gold of the scrap world. Well, yes, it is. So we got our copper tellurides. We all call them donuts. Everybody knows them. It has a ferrite ring. What is ferrite? It's brittle, kind of like clay. You whack a dude with a hammer, pull that copper out. You got free copper. You got more free copper here, and back there. It's all over the board, and it is to be had. What else do we have? Well, let's move on down to, the MOSFETs. The MOSFETs are coated in plastic. I don't know if you guys have seen them, and I have buckets of them. Here we are. Here's what a MOSFET looks like, and some of them, in fact, will have tons of copper on the backside of them. This has more legs than a MOSFET, but hey, it's the same concept. You will find them glued, screwed onto all your heat sinks because they produce a lot of heat, and that's why there's a heat sink on it. Those are going to be stacked with copper. Go into your scrapyard, talk to them, find out what they'll give you for it. When they say, I'll give you 10 cents on the pound, you laugh, they laugh, then you really talk about what they're going to give you for it, because don't take the first answer. They're a scrapyard, they need their business, but so do you, because you're working for your money just as hard as they are. What else do we have in this board? Well, you're going to see some IC chips, but before we get to those, don't forget these 3-leg packs right here. They're plastic, they're all over boards, you see them everywhere. They're going to go in the same process as those IC chips. These IC chips have the potential to have gold. For all you new guys, every leg on the IC chip represents one wire that goes into the center of the die on the chip. That has the potential of being a gold bond wire. If that's the case, then bing, bang, boom, you have gold. You throw it in with these resistor packs and all your other plastic material, and you do your process and you get gold that way. It does exist. It is there. Just because you can't see it does not mean it is not there. You see these little dooboppers right here, these little blue M&Ms, everybody calls them, loves them to death. They're super cute. You find them in all different colors. They're silver ceramic capacitors. Yes, I apologize. Silver ceramic capacitors, disc capacitors, whatever you want to call them. They're there. They're all over the boards. You'll find them in all different shapes, sizes, and orientations. And if you collect up enough of them, some people say they have silver, some people say they don't. I tell you what, I'm not leaving them behind. I'm going to take every one of those off the board. You see one of those packages right here that has going to have copper inside of it. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't, because it does. Another IC pack right here. And I don't know, these are going to be capacitors right down here. I'm thinking those are going to be tantalum capacitors, because the shape and the color and the marking on the board is going to tell me that they have the potential to be tantalum capacitors. If in fact they are, then that means they're going to go in my tantalum pile, and you save them up. And yeah, you can't access tantalum right now as a backyard refiner, unfortunately, but you will one day maybe. If not, leave them as it is. You can get silver out of your tantalum, but I tell you what, you take these little guys right here, you crack them up, you get the silver out of them. Yes, you're still going to have the tantalum metal exist, but it's not going to be in a visible, recognizable package, and people will not pay you for it. Same thing. These are photosensitive diodes. These guys are going to be akin to an LED. They're going to have a little bond wire inside of them, and they're probably going to be gold. So that right there, not only do you already have a bunch of free aluminum and a bunch of free copper, you also have the potential to have some free gold in a power supply that nobody even pays attention to. All right, moving on. That's the copper bearing material. As promised, we're on to the free gold. And I know everybody's looking at this bus card and they see those gold fingers and they're all nice, and they are. They're great. They're some of the easiest free gold you'll ever come across. They're very thin, but they exist and they're there, and they're really easy to get. And you're going to look inside of those slots right there, and every one of those pins represents a little bit of gold. And if you collect up enough of them and get a 5-gallon bucket, I know it sounds like a lot, but hey, it adds up quick. And for all you guys wondering what those are, these are tantalum capacitors. The shape, the size, the fact that it has a C on the board, and the vintage of the computer is telling me that these are tantalum. Now, what do you do with those? You save them up. You can sell them. You can refine them for the silver. Unfortunately, you're not going to get to the tantalum inside there, and if you refine them for the silver, they're no longer going to be recognizable, and you will not sell them as tantalum. So you do you figure out your process and what you want to do with them. I keep them and I will sell them. That's the best way I get the value for my dollar out of those. Now, what is this? This is that slot card we're looking at. Now, the slot cards have a little thinner fingers on them sometimes because they are designed to go in and out. But what else does this slot card have? Well, it has beautiful gold pins all up and down right here. Very thick, very rich. On these old vintage cards, they are very nice. We have a resistor pack. Actually, somebody, hey, if you're watching this video, shout out to you. They had told me that is an inline resistor pack. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. But we have these right here. What are these? These are IC style flat packs. They have IC style legs on them. For you new guys, every one of those legs represents a gold wire that goes into the bond die in the center. That's right. I say it wrong every time. I'm backwards. I'm dyslexic. But hey, there's gold in there regardless. There's going to be gold in that guy. There's going to be gold in this. This is an inline two-sided IC style chip, and that's going to have some gold too. Regardless, all these guys will go into the same process, and you will recover the gold. Now, you're going to see these little MLCCs right here. Because it has a C next to it, that means it's an MLCC, a multi-layer ceramic capacitor. And that means that the potential for it to have silver and platinum and palladium in it is great, especially the year and the vintage. Well, how can you tell? You collect them all up, you run a light magnet across it, not a hard drive magnet, but a regular microwave magnet or something like that. You run them across it, magnet like this guy right here, and you go and you run it on there, and if they stick to it, then they're going to have less or no precious metals. If they don't stick to it, then they're going to have more precious metals inside of them. This guy is a silver crystal oscillator. He is too going to have silver. So for me, I'm going to save them up and figure that out. There's not a lot on the back side of these cards, but hey, there's still some gold fingers to be had. That is, again, one of the easiest gold I will ever come across next to TVs. Sometimes these are aluminum, sometimes they're steel. What do? Well, you take that handy dandy magnet. If it sticks, that's steel. That's steel, my man. So that's gone. Not much you can do with that. But hey, there is going to be some goodies to be had on the board still. There's going to be a flat pack right here. You're going to see there may be some gold inside of here. There's thick film resistors that may have silver. I don't know. I haven't got that far in my process yet, but we will. And you see more little MLCCs. Why are these MLCCs a capacitor? Because of the C on the board. If they had an R next to them, they would be a resistor. If they had an L, they would be an inductor. Correct me if I am wrong. But on the back side of this board, this guy looks kind of neat. It's got a lot of gold pins on top of it to be had. Crack those off. There you are, free gold. There's another one of them disc ceramic capacitors. It's not quite a disc shape. It's more of a pill shape. But hey, it's there. It does the same function. And I don't leave them behind. I also take those little pieces of aluminum and I'll put them in my aluminum cans. Why not? I have over 800 pounds of aluminum cans. I might as well add to it. And in here, you're going to find some brass and a few other goodies. I don't know what's inside the reed heads on those guys. For anybody who knows, let me know. I just know that they're going to have a brass spindle and a little copper motor and a little bit of copper. Sometimes they're going to have gold flashing on those guys. This guy, unfortunately, does not. So that is that. This is going to be what that 120 megabyte, 120 meg tape drive. It looks like it belongs with the tape, like an old 8-track. I know some of you people don't know what a tape deck is, but hey, believe me, they used to exist. We used to listen to music on them. That's also how they would get information into computers. Well, what is this guy? This guy is one of those, and I am not going to crack into him. I'm going to let him sit for right now until we can figure out his usefulness. All right, so here we have the motherboard. That's right. It's missing its CPU, but unfortunately, you can't help it. Sometimes when you find things out in the wild, they're not always put together exactly the way they're supposed to be, but hey, there's still stuff to be had on this board. So let's start with the RAM sticks. That's right. This is a different kind of RAM. It's a really old RAM. I thought it was going to have silver fingers, but no, it has gold fingers on it. That's right, gold fingers. Yep, and look at it. It says it's an upgrade, man. I don't know what this is or what its value is as far as anything else, but it may carry some intrinsic value to me. I may put that in a frame and just hold on to it in my shop. You never know. What else does this board have? Well, this board's going to have some really nice gold pins on the back side of it. Yep, you take all them out. That's free gold. The female connectors are going to have the same. In fact, you can see it inside right there. So that's going to be, again, some more free gold. You don't pass it up. You don't leave it behind. What else do we have? Well, let's look on the board. So on the board, we have silver crystal oscillators in a few different shapes and orientations. We have a round dauber right here. We have a tube-shaped one over here. They're both going to be the same concept, and you just crack them open, get the silver out of them. Yeah, there's a lot of work to them, but hey, we'll figure out that process later. What else are we going to have? We're going to see a lot more random gold jumpers and pins, and these guys pop right off, and they come right out of that plastic. They go in your stock pot over there, and bing, bang, boom, a few weeks, you have your gold. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. I promise. I didn't think it was until I started doing it. What else do you have? You have these flat packs. These are IC style flat packs. Every leg represents a gold bond wire that goes into the die in the center of the chip. You crush it up, do your process, and that's how you get gold. And you throw all these. These are removable IC chips. If you're going to sell this board, make sure you take that removable IC chip set out of there. Don't leave them. Don't give them for free. What else? You have the two-sided IC packs, same concept. And you're going to have MLCCs all over the board. But you're also going to be like, hey, look at those. Those are giant. Those are not MLCCs. If you look at the top of them, that has an L, and I do believe that stands for inductor. So that is a strikeout. They're not going to be like these brown guys up here, these tanner guys right here. They are not going to have any precious metals inside of them, but you do have a C for capacitor behind them. These are going to be capacitors. I don't know what kind of, does it make a difference how dark these capacitors are versus how much precious metals are inside? I don't know, but we'll figure it out because there's just so many activities to be had. So much stuff on this board. I know, and you're really bummed out about that CPU, but hey, don't let it get you down. We got more flat packs. We got more IC chips. There's just so much stuff to be had. And look at the gold. Look at the gold from the bus card. It's there, it exists, and it's pretty easy to get a hold of. Was scrapping that PC worth the gold inside? For us, yes, because this is my job and this is what I do. For other people, maybe not. Maybe it's not for you. I don't know. If you want to know if e-waste is for you, but then head over to my channel, check it out, and if you find something you like, hit that subscribe button. Hey, we're all about doing stuff for free around here. We're always doing crazy stuff. So I tell you what, we'll see you next time. We're going to find more gold, and we're almost hitting that 1,000 sub mark. So for all my subscribers, thank you guys. And for my wife, I love you. And for my kids, go wash your face.